Take two. So, what is Pocc? Pocc is a little creation that I evolved over the last 4 years. It began actually when COVID-19 was in place and we were all stuck in our homes. And I started playing with Tasker from joinapps.com, which is like an onboard programming system on an Android phone. And it allowed me to start to develop what I believe is a voice companion, different to a voice assistant. So, you know, if we look at, for example, Siri, Bixby and Alexa, you know, they had one thing in common. They were never actually voice assistants. They were marketed as voice assistants, but rather they were unreliable and sometimes downright embarrassing input alternatives just to touch commands. So Siri and Bixby were really just applications that made people feel like they were using cutting-edge technology. But in actual fact, they were just using a voice input alternative, albeit a very basic one at that. So, and as for Alexa, well, I'm not sure that firing the whole Alexa development team was a great idea, but they certainly needed a new visionary leader, you know, like me perhaps. Someone to take them out of that comfortable marketing zone and really put the I for intelligence back into AI. So, Pocc, on the other hand, is not just an alternative input device. It will interact with you logically and helpfully while protecting your personal data and keeping your device safe and secure. And it will cost you nothing, as it is a proof of concept companion, developed entirely by me inside the Android application Tasker. So, let me tell you why Alexa and her siblings are retiring and new voice companions like Pocc are setting the stage for an exciting new era providing artificial personalised companionship. I like to call it APC. Oh, and remember you heard it from me first. I can feel my Amazon ID card already on the way. Anyway, so let's talk about the key differences between a voice companion like Pocc and the old style last century input alternative, very primitive voice input alternative. So look, when we talk about Pocc, we're talking about an application that's divided into several key areas. First and foremost, we're talking about safety zones. So what do I mean when I talk about safety zones? I'm talking about knowing where the device is and whether the device is not safe. For example, by your Wi-Fi zone. If you're at home in your Wi-Fi zone, we consider this a safe area. If your smartwatch is connected to your device, we consider this a safe area. So if you are charging your device, we do consider this a safe area under some conditions. What happens is when Pocc goes outside of her, I like to call her affectionately, when she goes outside of her safe zone, if she leaves the Wi-Fi zone, if she loses connection to your smartwatch, and of course if you pull her out of the charger without putting in your biometric password, your fingerprint or your PIN number, the alarm will go off. By the way, this charger function alone is wonderful if you travel and you're in airports. So you're charging your phone, you're falling asleep on your chair. Well, when someone comes past, tries to steal your phone, unplug the charger, bang, the alarm goes off. So fantastic security device. That's one of the most important factors about Pocc. Pocc also has an invisible safety zone when you're out in the shopping centre and you don't want the alarm to go off. And you can configure it any way you like, but because I use a Galaxy Fold, I have it horizontally on my belt. So when she goes into landscape, while she's unlocked, she knows she's in a safe zone. You get a discreet beep, and then you can walk around anywhere you like and she will know that she's safe. Of course, you have an extra layer of security if you're wearing your smartwatch, because then if the smartwatch is separated from the phone, the alarm will go off. I actually left my phone in a bathroom on a trip, true story, and we went to the car, and for whatever reason, someone brought her to us. Bang, 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 bang. The alarm was going off because I'd left her on the toilet seat. I'd separated with my smartwatch and the alarm went off. Firstly, if the alarm didn't go off, even if the person was honest in that shop, we would have never got the phone back until it was too late and we'd driven off. Secondly, when the person picked it up, they didn't know what to do with it, because there is no way, this is the thing, there is no way to shut off Pocc's alarm. I mean, literally no way. You can't turn the sound down. You can't unlock her in any way unless you know how to unlock her. Even if you manage to somehow reboot her, when she boots up again, the alarm will still be going. Rebooting her does not clear the alarm. Only a security key, whether it's Wi-Fi, whether it's a watch, whether it's a position, only these things will unlock her. So, safe zones, charging, fantastic. She's also intelligently controlling all of the wireless systems on the phone that at the moment, in the wisdom of our phone manufacturers, uses the sledgehammer approach. In other words, the phone is either on, and if we want to turn all the services off, we go whack with the sledgehammer and we put our phone into flight mode. What does flight mode actually do? Have you ever thought about it? Flight mode is wireless disconnection for dummies. We could probably write the book. So you've got Wi-Fi that you need to manage. You've got whether or not the Wi-Fi is strong or weak, you need to manage that. You've got hotspot connectivity. You've got VPN connectivity. You've got whether your car or watch is connected to the device, which is a safe zone issue. You've got many wireless functionality issues that you need to consider. Is the cell phone connected? If the cell, which is your SIM card, is connected, what is it connected to? Is it connected to a 3G system that won't provide you any data? Or is it providing you 4 or 5G data via your mobile network, which is either switched on or switched off? There are many permutations when we talk about what actually connects to your phone. And if rumours are true, in the next 12 to 18 months, we will have new phones with satellite connectivity as well. Wow! We'll be able to use a satellite radio when we don't even have a cell signal. And then there's another whole permutation of connection issues that come into hand when we're connecting our device to the internet, and whether or not we're roaming or whether or not we're on our local SIM, because I have 2 SIM cards. I need a second SIM card for Australia. When I get a banking notification, it comes in on a completely different roaming network. So this type of security complexity related to data we need to deal with right now. So Pocc manages this seamlessly. She knows that if the cell phone is down, you can't have mobile data. She knows if you're connected to Wi-Fi that the 5G will be disconnected. Android never told you this, but they disconnect the cell network when the Wi-Fi is on. Well, Pocc controls that now. You now get control of that back. And even if you don't, if this is all sounding too complicated and you don't even want this type of control back, she'll at least let you know either verbally or via flash messages if you're mute as to what is connected, what isn't connected, what might work and what might not work. At the moment, you only have cell phone connectivity. You might be able to make a phone call, but none of your data is available, and currently there's not a Wi-Fi connected to your device. This type of valuable, serious information. Now, talking about connectivity, we also need to consider what we're doing while we're connected. So we're in an appointment. We've got a calendar appointment. I don't know about you, but I teach English, and if someone interrupts me while I'm in an English class, that's a problem. I don't want to get messages, but I don't want to go with the sledgehammer, and I don't want to put the phone into flight mode either. So Pocc deals with sound intelligently and mutes the sound if and when required under certain conditions. Even if you're running your favourite meditation app, which I love doing, Pocc knows, and you choose the app, that during that application the device needs to be in flight mode and the sound needs to be off. If I'm in a calendar event and I'm teaching an English class, I want to be not disturbed by sound, which she does. I also want a hotspot backup, because if my Wi-Fi goes down here in Brazil, in the Amazon, electricity and water are not a given. They're more lucky. You know, you wake up in the morning and go, wow, I've got electricity. We got water this morning, Marta. You know, so great stuff. Anyway, so we need a backup. So as soon as you have a calendar event, she mutes the device and she connects the hotspot. However, if she can't connect the hotspot because you don't have mobile data at the moment, she lets you know. If she's connected to the Wi-Fi and you request the hotspot, because you're in a calendar event, she turns the Wi-Fi off automatically. And your device is muted. Cool. But what happens if in the middle of a calendar event you want to talk to someone? So what do you do? Well, you can simply tell or touch Pocc to say that I want to use my sound at the moment. During the appointment, she will unmute the device, and then as soon as you put the device on the table or turn the screen off, she will put it back into mute mode again so that you're not disturbed in your calendar event. Talking about intelligent muting, during the day you can ask her automatically to mute the device for 2 hours, or at night time you can ask her to mute the device for 8 hours. You can extend these mute times whenever you like, and guess what happens when you come back out of mute? So, when you come back out of mute, if you've received any messages or notifications, she tells you what they are. With regards to emails, you can even select important subjects or senders, and she'll give you the detail of the message, and she lets you know what happens. What about if you've been in the gym and your phone's in your gym bag? You're wearing, obviously, your smartwatch to do your exercise. I hope. I hope you're doing exercise. Anyway, so when you reconnect to the device without doing anything, no dumb input commands, she will tell you, while the smartwatch was not connected, you missed the following notifications. So we're talking an intelligent, interactive companion, not just an audio input assistant, okay? And as I said before, if you reboot, the alarm will not be bypassed. And ChatGPT is integrated seamlessly into Pocc. You can simply, as soon as you turn her on, she'll give you the option to ask her a question. In the case of my Galaxy Fold, if the fold is closed, she knows that I want to talk to her. If the fold is open, she knows that I want...
The next appointment is this Wednesday, 1400.
Thank you, Pocc. That's just Pocc telling me when my next appointment is. Oh,
Simon.
hang on, sorry. This is a bit impromptu.
VPN security is active.
She's telling me that my VPN is on. So again, you know, that's handy to know, because sometimes if I try and use something like... oh my goodness me, Skype. If I try to use something like Skype, Skype doesn't like the VPN. So I'm thinking, why is my Skype not working? And then instead of resetting my phone or trying to think what's not working, or why is the hotspot not on? Why is the Wi-Fi connected? What's going on? She lets you know. She's intelligent. She helps you. So I know that if I want to use Skype, I've got to go and turn off my VPN. So VPN monitoring as well. If I mentioned it or not, I can't remember. So ChatGPT is integrated. You can talk to her anytime you like on ChatGPT. You can ask her anything you want, and away you go. She's integrated as a pre-trained transformer, so she's looking at information that's provided via a deep learning server on ChatGPT, or she's in real time using Google to provide you with up-to-date current information, anything from the weather to your next schedule event. And remember, she's controlling your sound and she's controlling your security areas at the same time, all right? And all of your notification systems as well. So, let me tell you, Pocc is not a commercial venture. Pocc is simply a proof of concept companion, only made possible with Tasker Android software that shows how easily and logically we can adapt existing AI technology to be truly useful. Pocc is not a gimmick or a novelty that we ultimately will never use, or even worse, wish we never had. I mean, honestly, how often does anyone ever use Siri or Bixby? And what could Alexa do, at least before the team was fired, that you couldn't do yourself by simply walking over to your music system, pressing play, or using your air conditioner built-in timer? Gimmicks, yeah? I mean, look, I don't want to lose my job at Amazon that I haven't got yet, but what are AI systems, right? Basically, it's a marketing gimmick. It's not really artificial intelligence. AI systems are just deep learning servers, right? Or deep learning systems. They do not actually think at all, and they are in no way intelligent, at least for the moment. And over simply commercially released piecemeal systems like Bixby, Siri and Alexa don't help our perception of what should be a system that actually quickly adapts and molds to our needs. And the technology's there now. We can do it now. That's the irony, you know. So anyway, by involving yourself with Pocc, at least before I become famous, you're going to be interacting with a proof of concept companion. Pocc is a multifunctional voice assistant that generates real-time responses, and as a pre-trained transformer, you know, to be honest, most people don't even know what GPT stands for. She can chat with you by voice or text, effortlessly without shouting at her or pressing many buttons or becoming frustrated by what she does not do or when she does not do it. Pocc is exclusively a Tasker-based application and can only run on Android with Tasker and requires plugins. Sorry iPhone users, but you're stuck in last century anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. There are also many ADB commands you need to plug in from your PC, and a little HTML programming would come in handy, and the device does not need to be rooted, which is not a rude word in Android speak. It means that you can't bypass the Android security system. So who's this application for? Well, it's probably for everybody, but not everybody wants to even try and use Tasker. But it's for all Tasker users, from advanced to beginners. It gives advanced users the opportunity to play with 4 years of coding and understand the depth of integration possible now with today's AI technology and an Android device. And for beginners, on Tasker it provides a fully workable voice assistant and device security system that you can tinker with and develop your Tasker programming skills on. Now, for those Tasker aficionados, Pocc itself includes more than 20 projects, 200 profiles, and over 300 tasks with thousands of lines of code stolen from you. I've been working on Pocc now for nearly 4 years and lifted many snippets of code from many existing Tasker projects and created a lot of unique and bulletproof code of my own, with the help of all of you. And of course, a very special acknowledgement and thank you to Juan from juanapps.com, without whom this would be impossible. So, this is what you need to run Pocc. Ideally, you have a serious Android device, some people have already started downloading it and they don't listen to all the detail, isn't it? The devil is in the detail, you know. I buy a serious Android device. I mean a device running at least 12 gigabytes of RAM, something MacBook users don't even have on their Apple Macs and their Apple computers. And you'll need to create an OpenAI key and a Google API key to make full use of the AI functionality that I mentioned. You can use it without, but it's not going to be anywhere near as effective, but still will give you all the security functionality and all the intelligent functionality surrounding safety without connectivity to Calendar or ChatGPT. So Pocc was built exclusively on a Samsung Galaxy Fold 3, my beautiful device here, which I will replace with next year's Fold 6 when they put 16 gig of RAM on here. And it was on Android 13 that I built it with all the current security patch updates. But Juan and I are already ready for Android 14, so don't worry. So if I was you, I would check out Pocc.app regularly. It's sort of up and running now, but it looks a bit like a cross between my Star Trek website and my English teaching website, because I've cloned my website, or I've got my developer to clone my website so that I can build the new site. Anyway, it's there, you can look at it, and if you want to be on board from the beginning for what will be an artificial, life-changing experience for all of us, and an important historical memorial service for our last century's trailblazers, Siri, Bixby, what was her name? Oh yes, Alexa.